Ciao ragazzi, my name is Anthony. Welcome back to Inter Worldwide. It is an honor and a privilege to be sitting here with you today on a Monday in Southwest Sydney, the first day of my school holidays, and it is all about you guys, all attention up here right now on Inter Worldwide because it's our time. It's our time. It is our time. Look how relaxed I am. Like, look at the settings. The settings on this seat, bruv. Look, that's not a right angle. That is not a right angle, bro. That is an obtuse angle. That is at least 105 degrees. At least 105 degrees. And I was bang average at general mathematics. Yes, I was. I might even just fix it so I don't completely fall asleep on today's stream because, you know, could be one of those days. Minimal sleep, obviously. Minimal sleep as you do when it's the first weekend of school holidays. Minimal sleep. Minimal settings on that. But I know that we've got the family in the chat here today. So relaxed settings, Interclub Belfast settings. And you know what? It's so comfortable. Oh, it's a stunner of a shirt. You know, I might even show wear it the Adelaide style, the Southwest Sydney teenage gang style. I'll do it. Let's see how I look. There we go. Double button, collar high, hat front to cover your face when you're stealing from the grocery mart. There we go. That's better. Now we look like we're ready to circle the ends and run home and cry to our mums when the cops pull us up, Southwest Sydney style. We drew today. 2-2 against Cagliari in a match that I never wear a collar up, and now I know why. It's really annoying. It makes you really hot, runs up your neck. We drew today to Cagliari in a match that was virtually a free kick from the moment Sassuolo drew 3-3 with Milan. I liked the Milan game. I mean, that's the reason I wasn't able to stay awake or get up for the Inter game, was because I was enjoying I was just enjoying it too much. I was enjoying the Milan Sassuolo too much. But I'm not going to lie, I was enjoying the Premier League a little bit too much. Just a little bit too much. And for those of you that have known me for a while, we have Bruno and I, we've got a second side platform called Football Worldwide, which basically needs the cobwebs dusted off it for the first time in a year. And I'm going to hit that in about half an hour. So when I finish up this stream right now, I'm going to dual stream Football Worldwide and Inter Worldwide to talk about the English Premier League. And then I'm going to do the same thing and talk about La Liga and the Bundesliga in a different show as well, because I've got nothing but time. So stick around with me. And if you can't stick around, maybe drop a like on the Football Worldwide video. Bruno, if you're watching this now, maybe you can help me out and link that video here for the people in the comments. My phone's in the other room. I'll go grab it at some point. I'll grab my phone at some point in this stream. But long story short, obviously it's all off the cuff. There's 41 people here right now. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and show some love for the champions of Italy, because that's what we are. That's what we're going to be. So I'm going to tell you why. Take the Cagliari game out of the equation and just look at the points total. Say you took the games out of the equation this week, you would see that we matched Milan's result for another week. And this is what he's saying. The guys at the top have been running away with it for a while, and we're going to keep running away with it. We're plus 14 with 6 games to go. Bruno's almost grown into almost as much of a pessimistic fan as I am. He knows it's done. I know it's done. Everyone knows it's done. The only annoying thing up our ass is the fact that Milan might beat us in the derby, and then everyone from the Juventini and the Milanisti to their mums, dogs, ferrets, guinea pigs, fourth cousin's god sister is going to say that, oh, you didn't win the title against Milan. Oh my God, you didn't win the title in the derby. That's it. Shut the fuck up. I'm not interested in this shit. I'm not interested in airy-fairy shit that does not matter. The second star is the only thing that matters. It was always the only thing that matters. I don't care if we had to win it on goal difference. Speak of the devil, here he is. I'll give him a sec to equalize. Let's take his buttons off. The second star goes somewhere around here. I don't know where I'm going to put it just yet, but it's going somewhere. And that's all that counts. And I don't care how it happens. The only point is that it happens. And a point today, it's very rare as Inter fans that you get to turn around and go, oh, wow, a draw that feels like a win. But the moment that Cagliari player headed it straight at Zoma, I was just like, bros, who cares, bro? It's plus 14 with 6. I'm all about maths. Bruno's all about maths. That's why today, you'll see Bruno and I react differently to every result. We can win games and not celebrate. But look, bro, when the maths adds up, the maths adds up. Bruno, plus 14 with 6 games to go. Finita.
Yes. There's 18 points left.
Yes.
2 reasons I am here is one, a couple of years ago when I bought this beautiful bottle when we won the 19th, I said, when we win 20, we are popping it. And guess what? I just got the ice out. It's ready to go on ice. Now, the second thing is, anyone knows any of the Inter clubs in Thailand? Link me up, because I'm going to be in Thailand for this derby, and I know they're worse than us. They're crazier than us. And I want to be with Interesti when that happens. Now, okay, we won't be lifting the trophy, but it's a big to the whole Milan fan base when we basically say, see you later, we're done. Milan's still got to fight that amazing juggernaut called Juventus. Something tells me they're just going to click. Something's going to wake up in them. They're dropping points. But,
Did you stay awake for the Sassuolo Milan game? You were awake, weren't you? That's right. We were messaging at some point, weren't we?
I watched the Napoli game, and then I had AC Milan on my phone, Liverpool on my TV. I watched Liverpool bottle it. I watched AC Milan bottle it, and then I'm like, nah, I'm staying up. I watched Arsenal bottle it.
Oh, see, I couldn't. I tried, bro. I tried, but even Vince was telling me, he's like, come on, bro, you're being stupid now. I could see it in your face too, cuz.
I am, a very rough
I know.
weekend, but these
Yeah.
results were just phenomenal across all of Europe. I think the Premier League, you've seen a phenomenal season, something that no one's expected in a very long time, just being tight with less than, 15 games to go. There's still a chance of anyone to win it. Leverkusen pulling out their first title, undefeated thus far. Xavi Alonso showing the world that you can be a great footballer and a great manager in a blink of an eye. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, bro.
It's phenomenal.
It
But
really
it's
is.
great football that we're living in, great times. 20th Scudetto soured by that penalty shootout against Atletico Madrid. I hate them as much as Milan, so that's where that one came out. But my God, it's been a great season of football. I have never seen Inter play the way they have. And I used to criticize it. Remember when Immobile won the Golden Boot and there was like 14 penalties or something like that in his repertoire. I think he tied it with Icardi that year. And I made the argument then the way Inzaghi plays is you're in the box. So if the other team makes a mistake, it's game over. And the same happened once he moved to Inter. We're getting penalties, but they're not run-of-the-mill penalties. And that goal, that last call right on the whistle, I'm amazed VAR didn't turn around and say, bring that ball back onto the pitch because there's a penalty to be taken.
Mate.
It's interesting, but we just got to take our wins when they come, especially as Interisti. It's few and far in between.
Inzaghi after the game was so placid about it because, I'm happy to admit that as the team that creates the most chances in the country, as the team that retains the most ball in the opposition's final third, team with the most shots on target, team with the most peppering, you get it. We're the fucking best in the country. We will get the rub of the green the same way the Madrids and the Cities and the Bayerns and the PSGs of the world do because we are simply that penetrative in this league at the moment. And that was insane. You could tell that Inzaghi after the game probably had 3 or 4 events in his head where he was like, yeah, remember when this happened with us this season? Remember when this happened with us this season? I remember when this happened with us this season. You know what? Plus 14 with 6 games to go. I'm at home. Claudio Ranieri, my gentleman friend. It happens. He literally said, people make mistakes. Even the referees make mistakes. But it happens. We move on. It's a great time to be a fan because very rarely in our lives are we going to look at something like that happen, an equalizing goal, borderline stoppage time, and instead of breaking things in our property, we're going to look at it and go, but plus 14, 6 games to go. We move on.
Look, at the end of the day, we've lost one game all season in the Serie A. One game. We've dropped 1 3-point fixture. So the team as a whole's played phenomenally. And I don't know if you knew that, but Anana was in the crowd today.
I saw,
cheering
bro.
on
What's that
Nerazzurri.
about? How do you do that like 40 hours after you play for Manchester United, bro? That goes to show,
You need
bro.
something to look up to because Manchester United has been so bad this
there has
season.
to be more. There has to be more to it than that, though. Like it's not like because I remember Perisic did this with us like 5 weeks ago, but he's injured to the shithouse, doesn't even play football anymore. It's a different story. Like you're at still one of the biggest clubs in the world. You are in context at the biggest, most underperforming club in the world and have been. I don't know how the fuck he came to the Sun Siro, man. And I saw the players go and greet him, and I thought, don't tell me there's a loan with an option or something waiting to happen coming from this, man, because I'd still lap it up.
Look, I think you're looking at a team where players become fans, and they become fans straight away. And it was one of those things where you can see he genuinely loved the club. Hakimi genuinely loved the club. You look at Materazzi, and he's in the crowd every second of the week with his shirt off and banging the drums. So it's a club that you can't not love. But yeah, it was fantastic, and the celebrations can start. The relegation battles heating up so fast, and even fifth and sixth are really stalking Juventus, who have won 2 in their last 11.
Oh, they're so shit. I said this in one of the Facebook groups yesterday. I can't believe we've gotten to the point this season where I was involuntary when I checked their result. Like, I woke up on Saturday, I checked it, I'm like, they drew the Derby delle Mole. What am I doing today? Like, it was so involuntary, man. And that's the most insulting of it all. That's probably how they got with us at points towards our banter era. But they're really, really lucky, bro. And thanks for bringing it up, because I'll get the Campionato up on the screen right now. They're very lucky Bologna dropped points. Also, I just want to say in the most respectful way possible that I have no idea how or what is going to result of the beloved Roma player that unfortunately collapsed on the pitch today.
So he's Fabrizio Romano reported and posted a photo of him in hospital. Thumbs up, all good. Cool. It was one of the more easier situations to deal with. It wasn't like your Christian Eriksen when he collapsed on the pitch. He got up, he was there, he was conscious, he was alert. He's a smiling. Ian's alerted us to that. So it will be interesting to see when that game is replayed, because it is a crucial 3 points. There was only 7 minutes left in the game at the time it was halted. Well, the game stopped in the 83rd minute, but the player went down in the 72nd minute. So it's interesting to see how that game will play out. Udinese has pulled it out of their back end this season. So it's one of those things where anything's possible. But yeah, the only team that's really relegated, not even technically yet, is Salernitana.
Yeah. First of all, thank you to Mohammed Farah for your donation. We really appreciate it. There's 52 people with us on Inter Worldwide right now, which is fantastic. Ian says the game won't be replayed. It will be played from the 72nd minute. Jeez, what a weird situation for those high elite performance athletes. I don't believe many of them on that pitch will have professionally prepared for a 18 to 24 minute high intensity encounter. In fact, I can't remember when I've seen something like that happen. So I'm guessing they'll play it on
it's going to be decided. It will be decided after Europa League's finalized and all of that, because you can't chuck another game at Roma when they're competing for Champions League as well as they're competing for Europa League, and they've got that advantage. So you can't really turn around and say, well, you're going to play this tomorrow. They've got a game to play for. From it was 1-1 in the 72nd minute. Lukaku had only equalized, I think it was 10 minutes prior to what happened. So it's going to be interesting. It's not one of your Fenerbahce Galatasaray Super Cup finals where the team walks off. It was a serious incident, and out of respect for the player and the unknown, it did get abandoned. But yeah, look at that.
So Juventus are very lucky in a sense that Roma don't close this match day with an extra 3 competition points. Bologna didn't close this match day with an extra 2 competition points. Atalanta play tomorrow, I believe, against Fiorentina. I know they play Fiorentina in the next week. So if they don't play Fiorentina tomorrow, they're playing them over the next
Fiorentina Genoa and
Fiorentina Genoa. Verona. Atalanta play Verona, and then Atalanta also play Fiorentina, I'm pretty sure, coming up after that. So if Atalanta can get, 6 points there, I guess they're sort of still in the hunt for the Champions League spots, but I'm almost ready to call their Champions League fight. Oh, wait, no, we've got the 5th spot. We've got the 5th spot, don't we? Ironically enough, it depends on Atalanta. They just need to draw against Liverpool. And
Yeah,
even then,
I
I'm pretty
think
sure even if they lose against Liverpool, Italy still should get the 5th spot unless something dire happens.
no, I believe Italy's got the 5th spot. It's Italy and England at this current point. I think the only one that can change is England can drop it to Spain.
So if that's the case, then yeah, the fight between Bologna, Roma, and Atalanta is still very much up for grabs. Very much. I'd love to sit here and say Juve won't make Champions League, but they're very lucky they got some of those last gasp victories throughout the season because they should be able to collect it from here. But they still need 11 points mathematically. They still need 11 points. It's not going to be easy for them to get 11 out of 18 points because they suck. We need Atalanta to get into the semis for Europa for us to confirm to the 5th spot. I don't know if that's 100% what we require. Matt. I feel like we're up on the coefficient, but anyway, we'll find that out.
Sorry, Germany's on 13.36, Italy's on 13.14, and then England are on 12.13.
Interesting.
So Arsenal, Man City could carry them into that spot.
The relegation fight is still pretty hot, and kudos to Cagliari for getting 4 points out of their last 6 against us and Atalanta. That's bloody tough to do because when you really put it down to it, from Lecce downwards, it's still open. Salernitana's obviously going to get relegated, but from Lecce downwards, we're still on
6 points.
relegation battle-wise. 6 points.
6 points and
Crazy.
6 positions.
That 3 points against Empoli a couple of nights ago is huge for Lecce's season. That might actually be the result that gets it over the line, that 6-pointer. When you look back at the end of the season, Lecce Empoli match day 32 will go down as a catalytic 3 points, in my opinion. If Cagliari survive the drop, their last 3 match days, they'll talk about match day 30, 31, 32 as the period where they save themselves. Because as we both know, when we get down to this point of the season, 1 point is like gold at this point. Couple of games in hand, though, still. Games in hand for Udinese and Verona. It's nowhere near done.
Yeah, when you scroll across to that one that says stats, just so we can gloat a bit, you got Martinez on goals. And then...
Mkhitaryan, 7 assists for his age. That's boss.
It's phenomenal. And then red cards, don't worry about that. There's nothing important there. Is that all of them?
That's all the Google stats available.
I've got the other stats. Where is it? Player stats. Martinez, top scorer. Martinez, top goals and assists. Hakan has the highest rating. What else is there? Big chances created. DeMarco's in second there. Accurate long balls per game. Bastoni's in there. Expected assists. Sanchez is somehow up there just because his standard gameplay. Where is the defensive stuff? Because that's what I love to see. Clean sheet. Sommer, 17. 16, Milinkovic-Savic from Torino.
He's had a really, really good season. His save on Vlahovic the other day was just impeccable. It was really good.
And it's amazing because it really shows where they are in the title race. Now, they've had 11 wins and 12 draws. But when you've got a goalkeeper who can guarantee you saving shots and getting you those draws, it's phenomenal.
Huge games next match day. Genoa Lazio is a dead rubber game. Not too much going on there. But Cagliari at home to Juve, that's going to be very tricky for Juve, man. Very tricky. I see them struggling big time against Cagliari there. If Juve drop points to Cagliari next week, then their fans should proper start to shit themselves. They should really start to shit themselves if they drop points to Cagliari next week. Because if they end up only less than 2 games margin between them and Roma, they actually face Roma match day 35, if I'm not mistaken. If Romelu Lukaku scores against Juventus and costs them a Champions League spot, oh my god! Bro. Anyway, let's not talk dreamland.
I don't think you'll be sleeping Derby Day either. Because if
Why
you
is that?
continue to scroll down, you'll see the other fixture.
Oh, Roma Bologna. That's a pretty good game.
4th versus 5th.
That's a pretty good game. Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Might have to just sleep during the day Tuesday. Sleep during the day Monday and Sunday. Just stockpile sleep.
It's a massive result for
Sassuolo Lecce will be a big one as well. Verona Udinese will be a big one as well because no one's really safe there. Fuck. Lecce, Sassuolo, Udinese, Verona next week. Low key, this relegation battle is actually more exciting than the title race by like a good country mile, to be honest. Like, I know that the title can be decided at the Miazza next week in like a historical event, but when you really look at it, this relegation fight is creme of the crop level stuff.
Yeah. 18 points. 14. Oof.
Crazy.
Oof.
I think I join Ian's sentiment. Most of us want Sassuolo relegated. I think it's their turn. It's definitely their turn. I'm sick of them mooching points off us, season in, season out.
It's been a fantastic season. But now we gotta switch our mindset. Yes, second star. Yes, Scudetto wrapped up. How do we maintain this going into next season? Because news coming out of Italy is if Inter want to buy, they need to sell, which is standard. And after a season where the team's only lost one game, the spotlight's on you. And the spotlight's on you for a good reason, but it's also hard. You look at Ajax, they go through this systematic rebuild every 8 years where they'll build this team up, become massive world beaters, and then they just get gutted because, let's face it, it's Ajax. They're not in a top 4 league. And when a team like Inter shows such pedigree, the scouts are looking at them. And we need to look at it from now. We need to look at it from this perspective and okay, we've done this. We've all come to terms with this is our Scudetto, but how do we maintain this? Because it was only yesterday that we hit 19 and then 12 months later, as did Milan. So you really need to switch your lenses from let's celebrate this Scudetto because the celebrations are to come. We're definitely celebrating this Scudetto, but in the same essence, we also need to start thinking realistically because we're heading into a predicament where how are we going to maintain this team? How are we going to keep everyone happy? How are we going to keep those players wanting to wear this Inter badge and have that second star there and help them fight for something? There's been links to a new Saudi outfit. PIF has pulled all interest in Inter, not because they don't think it's a great investment, but because of the conflict of interest they would have because Newcastle is also owned by them and they can't have 2 Champions League teams in the same competition. So there is a new Saudi investor, which is apparently in talks with Zhang, but he needs to sell and he needs to sell up fast because this Inter team is peaking. Every player is doing its part. And the last thing I want is for Thuram to become a stalking horse like Lukaku or Hakimi all those seasons ago.
Speaking of though, it's inevitable that we're probably going to have to sell one player this market, 1 or 2. Is there anyone that you're resigned into selling? Like, you're happy to sell? Because I've been saying this and I know it will be an unpopular opinion, but if we do need to sell a player and it's not Barella, Bastoni, or Lautaro, who I'm not saying are unsellable anymore, after we win this Scudetto, I believe, we could go to the drawing board and be really ruthless behind the scenes, like some of the other clubs in the world are, and say, look, we've got these assets that are worth X, Y, Z. And if they're still worth this much, there's a good chance they're not going to be worth this much in 12 to 24 months' time. So there still might be a conversation that we very, very much need to uncomfortably expect, whether it's the sale of an Italian or our captain. For me, like Ian Kerr's just dropped in the chat, Dumfries is first out for most of us for the right price for a couple of reasons. Obviously, you bought him for 12.5 million. You've already got him into his third year of his contract, meaning that his actual amortized value is close to like 4 million on the books, really. So any money you get for Dumfries is good money. And you throw a really stupid Premier League team or a desperate Bayern Munich or a Paris Saint-Germain into the mix, and you just might get 25, 30 million for Denzel Dumfries, in which case that's plus 20 M's on the books. You got to take that with all money. I think Hakan Çalhanoğlu is the best midfielder in the league. However, and I've said this before, if his market value is above 40 million after this Scudetto, Marotta's going to start looking at it. If someone comes in, sorry, just one more thing. If someone comes in with an offer above 50 M for Thuram, Marotta's going to look at that $0 he paid on the books and go, this is Onana all over again. I've lost Hakimi, Eriksen, and Lukaku in the same market. I've lost Brozovic, Skriniar, Onana in the same market. This is light work, Bruno. This is damage control season 4, and we are bloody good at it.
Look, I think we need to really realign where the team's successes come from. And the success this season's come from 3 key players up front, and that's Thuram, Lautaro, Hakan. If you can keep that spine, I think the rest of the team is for sale, because it's that spine that are scoring those goals. It's that spine who are creating. Cuadrado, I'd have gone. Sanchez, Klaassen, Dumfries. The one thing with Hakan that does worry me is he left Milan to win a title. Milan won the title. Now he's going to be a part of this Inter team to lift that second star onto their badge, lift that trophy. I want to see the photo on the front of the bus, him smoking that cigar.
Yep.
Just like they rubbed it in his face. But it's also the mentality of mission complete. Is there something left to play for? Now, I'm not quiet about it. I'm a Manchester City fan. And last season, they won the treble. They won absolutely everything there is to win. This season, the motivation was gone. They've still got a great team, but they're not the same team. They're not as hungry as what they were last season because they achieved everything. And when you've done everything and you've been so good and you're so dominant, you can't just keep going. You need something to push you. And that Champions League, that unattainable trophy that they had there was finally achieved. There's nothing left for this team to prove. Haaland was on like 700 goals this time last season. He's on 20 now. And like even there, you can see that the dynamics changed within that Manchester City dressing room. So the whole talk for the last 15 years has been that second star. So what's going to happen? And how long are we going to be able to keep the entire team together with the ownership we've got? Because it's not just Martinez. He'll probably want to stay. But you've got even the Arabs offering stupid wages. And if we can't compete and we can't say, yeah, we'll increase your wage by 1 million a season, whereas Saudi Arabia is going to increase it by 50 million a season, it's going to be hard knock. And if Zhang stays here at Inter, it's going to continue to have the same repercussions because you've got players like Bastoni who want more, Samazic who wanted a bit more, but they're looking at the balance sheet and they're like, fuck, we can barely afford you on the wage you want now.
Yeah.
So the other rumor I heard was if Saudi's coming in and keeping him as a chairman, Zhang, as he is in love with the club. But again, anything's possible.
Yeah. 6 games to go, bro. How you feeling about the derby? We'll close this off there because I need a 5-10 minute break before I start the next stream. How you feeling about the derby? I would have liked to go into it only needing a draw, knowing we can rat our way to a 0-0. But at the same time, be honest with yourself. This team hasn't played well recently, and today's result is just another opportunity for them to get in the dressing room and go, here's a great chance for us to get back at our best and show a little bit of bite that we lost since that Champions League exit. So I think could be. If we smack them out of the park next week, we'll be looking back at the Cagliari game as a blessing in disguise. Because we win 2-1 tonight, I guarantee you we're going to the derby differently.
Look, I think we you say we haven't played bad. We haven't lost a game all year in the Serie A.
Yep.
All year we haven't lost a game. So yeah, we haven't been ourselves. We got our motivation kicked when we lost to Atletico. Especially the way Inter's been playing. But the derby brings out a different beast. The derby brings out something different in every play. You see it in all the derbies across the world. You could be first versus last on that table, but it's like it's first versus first because it's a different passion. And I don't think I think AC Milan are less motivated than what Inter are at this current point in time.
They're dreading it. It's very daunting for them.
Yeah, I think if anyone's there to complain, it's Milan, who lost to Roma on Friday, then lost to Sassuolo, drew to Sassuolo today. I think they're the ones that have the pressure on them because Inter's 14 points clear. And it's as simple as that. So that's my thoughts. I think Inter come out horrid 1-0 Pazza Inter winners where we're just defend at the end. But I honestly, this is one of the games I can't even go in with a result confidently. I can't say we're going to win, lose, or draw because anything's possible.
Yeah, fair, bro. One more thing. That Lapadula handball today. Handball or no? It was. It fucking was, bro. I'm trying to say it wasn't, but it was. I'm looking at the referee explanation now. Natural movement, involuntary. He's not even looking at the ball. Because he literally bumps the ball in the opposite direction with his arm. 100%. It changes the direction of the movement and impacts the ball. He assists his teammate with his arm. Mate, plus 14, 6 games. No dramas, bro. Well, that's all I can say.
That's all.
That's all.
Forza Inter.
Forza Inter, bro. Forza Bruno. Thanks for coming by. Thank you, everybody that's also in the chat. Channel members, including Ian Kerr, Matt Pickham, Debbie. Thank you very much for the donation as well from Mohammed Farah. Thank you to everybody else who came in. And please keep an eye out for some merchandise that's going to be coming out very, very soon, both on our end and the Inter Club Belfast end. So can't wait to get those sorted and shared a little bit more later on from both myself and Bruno. Forza Inter Worldwide.